If you need to, that's fine. Okay, so question. This is from 6.2 in Mathlinks8. This is your how to divide fractions practice questions. Question 4 says determine each quotient using manipulatives or diagrams. For all of these, we're going to use diagrams. So for the first one, A, I have a quarter. A quarter of something, I have to divide it between two people. So a quarter of a chocolate bar divided between two people, we'll call it Alex and Brandon. Alex will receive, instead of getting a quarter, if we look at this quarter, it no longer is divided into 4 parts, it's divided into 8 parts. And Brandon will receive one of those 8 parts, which means a quarter divided in half, or half of a quarter, is an eighth. For the second question, B, we have a third of a chocolate bar divided into 3 parts, in this case for Alonzo, Bruce, and Carl. So what used to be a chocolate bar divided into 3 parts is now a chocolate bar divided into 9 parts, and Alphonse will receive 1 part out of 9, or 1/3 divided by 3 is 1/9. Question C says 1/5 divided by 2. Well, 1/5, 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like this, shared between 2 people, Alphonse and Baron. What used to be a denominator of 5 is now a denominator of 10, and Alphonse would receive 1/10 of that chocolate bar. And the last question, 5/6, right here, 5/6 divided by 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line makes 6 parts. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, and 5/6. 5/6 divided between 4 people. We cut it in half, and then cut each of those in half. This is for Alphonse, this is for Bruce, this is for Clarence, and this is for Demi. What used to be a denominator of 6 is now a denominator of 24, and Alphonse shall receive 5 parts out of 24. So therefore, 5/6 shared between 4 people will give everybody 5/24 of a chocolate bar. Question 2, or 6, excuse me, says 2 different South Indian fish curries called dopa and mole curry both include coconut. Dopa requires half a coconut to make 2 servings. What fraction of a coconut is in each serving? So for this one, I am going to say dopa requires half a coconut to make 2 servings. Okay, so here's the coconut. I'm going to make this rectangle coconut. So that is representing how much of a coconut you need to make this curry. But the curry makes 2 servings. This is serving 1 and serving 2. So what part of the coconut is in each serving? 1/4. Because it was 1/2, now it's broken up into 4 parts. 1/4 of a coconut is in each serving of dopa. Mole curry, which I always thought was chocolate mole, but mole curry requires half a coconut to make 4 servings. So here's that same coconut, and there's half a coconut we need. And to make 4 servings, I would cut this half a coconut into 4 different servings. This is serving 1, serving 2, serving 3, and serving 4. What used to be a denominator of 4 or 2 is now a denominator of 8. And each serving of mole curry would have 1/8 of a coconut in each serving. Question 7 says a pitcher of orange juice is 2/3 full. Again, this will represent the orange juice. 2/3 would be shaded in 2/3 full. If 4 students equally share this juice, how nice of them to share 2/3 of the pitcher of orange juice equally amongst the 4 of them. How communal is that? How much would each get? So I'm going to divide this juice into 4 equal parts. This will be for student A, B, C, and D. And what used to be a denominator of 3 is now a denominator of 12. And student A will receive 2/12 of the orange juice pitcher. B will receive 2/12, etc., etc., which means in lowest terms, each student will receive 1/6 of a full pitcher of juice. If you share 2/3 of a pitcher between 4 students, each shall receive 1/6 of a pitcher. Question 8 says the areas of these three provinces are about equal. So if I was to draw Canada as this big long thing here, 1/5 of Canada, so right here, 1/5 of Canada would be the sum of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. But because they are all equal in size, this would be Alberta, this would be Saskatchewan, and this would be Manitoba. And if I just completed the line over here, Alberta no longer is, it's actually a third of a fifth is what it really is, or a fifth divided into 3 equal parts. So a fifth divided into 3 equal parts is really what this is looking for. Because a fifth of Canada is made up of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Divide them by 3 because they're all of equal size. Each would be approximately 1/15 the area of Canada. Prince Edward Island would probably be about 1/300th of the area of Canada. Question 10 says Mark uses 1/3 of a tank of gasoline during a 5-day work week driving to school. So here's Mark's gas tank. And during the entire week, if it was full, he would only use this much gas driving to work. Okay? But that much gas actually takes him for 5 days. So if I was, actually, I'm not going to do it that way this time. This would be Monday's gas. This would be Tuesday's gas. Uh-oh, that's too big. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. So there's Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays gas. So that 1/3 of a tank of gasoline that he takes will actually last him all 5 days. So if I extend this across, what used to be 1/3 of a tank, each day it would require 1/15 of a tank on Monday, 1/15 of a tank on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So really, 5/15ths, which is all 5 of these days combined, is really, in lowest terms, that 1/3 of a tank. So how much does he use for each day? 1/15 of a tank. And the last question, or the second last question, Iqaluit has frost on about 3/4 of the days in a year. So if I represent a year like this, Iqaluit's frost days would be 3/4. But this amount of frost is 5 times as many as Vancouver. So Vancouver is taking this 3/4, right? 3/4 and dividing it by 5. That would be it would be 5 times as many as Vancouver. So if I divide it by 5, oh, that's not a V. That's the worst V I've ever made. Oh, come on. Where's my eraser? Right? Oh, right here. Oh, of course, my eraser doesn't work. You son of a goat. There you go. So this is Vancouver. So Vancouver is going to be 1/5 of the amount of frost as Iqaluit has. So instead of being 3/4, it's now 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 5 is 20. So 3/20ths of a year in Vancouver is frost. Now if I want to check this out, take my answer and multiply it by 5. And we know how to do this from the last section. If you have 3/20ths and you multiply it by 5, how many 20ths would you have? You would have 15 20ths, which as we know is also 3/4, which is what we started with. And the last question says it takes 4/5 of a roll of ribbon to wrap 6 packages. So here is your roll of ribbon. 4/5, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5 to wrap 6 packages. So this would be package 1, package 2, package 3. Oh, that's going to be awful. Package 4, package 5, and package 6. How much does it take to wrap 3 packages? Well, that would be all of this right here, which the denominator is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 6 is 30. And I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 parts out of the 30, which in lowest terms, both are divisible by 3. Actually, both are divisible by 6. right? Which would be 2/5. 2/5 is your lowest terms. So what fraction of a roll does it take to wrap three packages? Approximately 2/5 of a roll.